This is a quickie. Well, as quickie as Erica likes to go quickie. Okay. Hello, and welcome to the Weeder Life podcast. I'm your host, Erica Weederlight, and I am the CEO and founder of We the Light. I help humans who feel inadequate, broken, self-conscious, and shamed around their sexuality to reclaim their aliveness, their power, and to have a renewed relationship to pleasure while preparing themselves to feel hella confident to date others and themselves. AKA, I'm guiding people to live their #best lives. I have to give you a fair warning. I do unfortunately swear like a drunken sailor, so if you do have little ones by you, just be sure to pop in some earbuds. All right, friends, let's buckle up and let's rock it to this week's episode. Here we go. It's tool time. It's tool time. And I'm your host, Tim Allen. Today on this episode of Tool Time, I don't know. Here we are. It's tools. You know me. Well, if you've listened to the podcast, you know me. And homegirl, I love to fucking chat. I love to chat. Well, not everyone, but like most of the podcasts, I'm like, alrighty, we're going in and like, let's make this concise. But then I'm like, but I gotta jam out with this one piece. But today, in great effort, I'm going to try to make this a bingeable podcast. And what I mean by a bingeable podcast is a tool episode where you can keep coming back to time and time and time again. So, I mean, I could brag on myself, and I think most of my podcast episodes you could binge on and listen to over and over, but this is a quickie. Well, as quickie as Erica likes to go quickie. Okay. But this is going to be a quick episode where you can continuously listen over and over and over again. And I like to have, different flavors on the podcast. As you probably know, we have some amazing, amazing guest experts. There's some episodes that I just love to fucking talk for an hour and just tell you tools and the things. But the intention of these baby episodes is to get the tools and to keep coming back to them over and over and over again. So be prepared. There's going to be lots of different tools peppered in through the seasons. And I wanted to, before we jump into the tool, which you can binge over and over and over again, and actually my pro tip is once we start to get to the affirmations, I would just make a mental note, unless you want to start from the beginning of the podcast every time. I would just make a little mental note of like, she starts here with the affirmations. That way you could always listen to them every morning, every night, on your walks, whatever. But we want it to be used as a tool that you can come back to over and over and over again. So we're going to jump into the tool because, like I said, we're making this a quickie. All right. You know what I mean? But before we jump into the quickie, I need to be put away right now. But before we jump into the quickie, I think it's really important for us to jump to the mindset episode. So if you need a long ass episode to binge, go to the mindset episode because that kind of like deconstructs all the shit that we're doing today. And I was very resistant to doing an affirmation / meditation, quickie because I think sometimes I've seen a lot of like a little misuse of the tools, like just say affirmations. And it's like, okay, well, we're a full human that has triggers and trauma and come with conditioning and all the things, and saying I'm rich, I'm a young money millionaire. That's not going to take away the trauma. So I'm always hesitant to, prescribe affirmations and meditation. So I think this conversation is very nuanced. So with that being said, definitely listen to the mindset episode because that's kind of going to talk about like, yes, mindset, but also like the underbelly and the shadow and us working with all of it instead of just like love and light. Let's bypass shit. You know what I mean? So we are going to go more into the love and light work today, but I also want to acknowledge and pay respects that there's not just love and light, there's a whole full spectrum. So definitely get your booty to the mindset episode. And before we jump into the tool, I actually wanted to, and the affirmations, and why I love this is the episode, is you can keep listening to this over and over and over and over and over again until you believe it's true. But because you know me and I love to provide value, I'm like, gotta give you everything, gotta give you all the gifts, gotta give you a goodie bag. We're gonna do those affirmations a little bit later. But before we do, I just wanted to throw some tools your way that you could practice on the reg in addition to these fucking amazing affirmations. So let's go through some tools. So the first one is called a Trinity, and it was made Public by Mama Gina. You know, lots of different coaches have made their own flavor to it and spin on it and their own little version of it. But I'll go traditional here and tell you how at least Mama Gina, Regina Thomashour, teaches it. And a trinity is a brag/celebration, gratitude, and a desire. Why I love this tool, it's very simple, but it helps me digest. You know, sometimes I'm like, what the fuck is going on? You know, and I'm just like spiraling out. But when I do these trinities and I brag and I celebrate, I'm like, okay, girl, like you're killing it. When I have gratitude, I could see, okay, wait, things are not as treacherous as I think. And desires, you know, I fucking love desires because they're great evidence of where we want to go, what we're wanting. When we have a relationship desires, and we could talk about this on a whole episode, it's just the secret sauce. So my invitation, I'm going to give you lots of invitations. I know, you know, we all love the invitations I give. You're getting a lot of them today. So get your social calendar free because you're getting a lot of invitations. But my first invitation for you today is to do trinities on the reg. You know, you can say them out loud as you're driving. You know, I have actually some friends that like I just WhatsApp, you know, we obviously talk, but we WhatsApp like our trinities to each other today. So I'm like, hey, what do you brag? And they're like, I brag this, I celebrate this, I'm grateful for this. So there's any way, you know, any way that you want to use this tool, implement this tool, it's all Gucci. You know, you do what you need to feel good with this tool. But this could be a very empowering tool. Like I said, you could say it on your walk. You could say it in your car. You could say to one of your besties, like, do you want to be Trinity buddies? And like I said, you could tell your friend all of your celebrations, all of your brags. And I know sometimes that's a stretch. We're like, I don't want to brag, but it's an invitation for you to brag, to celebrate. Remember, it's a trinity. So 1, 2, 3. So brag, gratitude, desire. So brag, 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 celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. I'm killing it. Gratitude for whatever's coming up for you, all the things, and then desire. So that's the first tool that it actually sounds super simple. And you're like, I could pass that. But once you start practicing on that on the reg, you're like, all right, that's a pretty cool, easy, potent tool. And I actually love trinities when I'm on vacation. Because, you know, when you're on vacation, I'm not going to do, I mean, it depends, but I'm not going to like do a whole usually I'm not going to do a whole ritual. You know, I'm not like, you know, like I sometimes, you know, I've scared my nephews a few times. They're like, why is Aunt Erica on the bed doing weird Kundalini breathing? Well, they didn't know it was Kundalini, but they're like, why is she doing that weird breathing? And I'm like, I'm sorry, guys. So you can't do all your tricks sometimes on the go. We're busy people. So I love the Trinity because it's just a quick, easy little thing that you're like, all right, things are going my way, or things are happening, I'm processing, I'm digesting. Cool. Another thing I love and why affirmations can get sticky is we don't want to bypass, like I said, the trauma, the whole person. So what I do is I do this tool, and this was deemed by many people, and I do want to shout out to Julia Wells because she reminded me of this tool, is I set my alarm for 30 to 60 seconds, and I act as if. Yes, I feel like a delusional bitch. But pretend I'm wanting, we'll say, this amount of clients this month, and that doesn't feel accessible. Like I can say all that I want, like I bring in those clients, but I actually need, you know, if you listen to the podcast, you know, it's a brain body experience. So I need to feel my body like, fuck yeah, I brought in these amazing clients. Like I need to feel that excitement, that celebration. As you know, for me, I'm very fucking animated. So my version of celebration is like, baby, you're a firework, very aggressive. Yours may be softer, like, ooh, cool. I feel a pulsing in my heart. I feel like excited thinking about it. You know, the point of this is I want you to feel excitement, gratitude, fuck yeah, in your body, acting as if that thing has happened. Sound good? So every day, 30 to 60 seconds, acting as if like, oh my God, this thing happened. Oh my God, this thing happened. And then if you want to go one step further, if you really want to, you know, push the limit, it's like, okay, how would I show up if this thing happened? What action steps would I take? Who would I be? Again, you know, pleasure is, I'm obsessed with pleasure, obviously, because it feels good, but it's such a balm to trauma and to receive it. I mean, it's fucking beyond healing. And I know when I started doing pleasure work, it's funny because, you know, when I entered the pleasure realm, I thought, I'm going to be on a fucking chaise lounge sipping kombucha in a chalice getting feathered. And like, God bless. I mean, if anyone wants to help me in that journey, please. But actually, when I started doing the pleasure work, it was wildly confronting. And I was actually really confronting crunchy, shadowy pieces of me. That I wasn't worthy of pleasure, that I wasn't good enough for pleasure, that you get pleasure after blood, sweat, and tears. So I can talk about that for years. Be sure to go to, one or many of the pleasure episodes. But what I do want to say is, so often we say, I want this, I want this, I want this, but we don't know how to receive good things. So my invitation is, one of the thousands of invitations today is, can you incorporate just a little bit more pleasure in your everyday? Because when it feels safe to have pleasure, when it's safe to feel good, you're not going to self-sabotage and you're not going to push that shit that you want away, right? Because we could say, oh, I want this, I want this, I want this. You get it. And it feels like that feels violating to my body. Like I was not ready to hold that. So pleasure, again, I'm obsessed with pleasure for 400 reasons. But today, why it's important is it tells our brain, it tells our body, oh, I can hold good things. I'm worthy of holding good things. So I actually wrote down like 10 more tools and I'm like, no, this is supposed to be a bingeable episode, Erica. Let's have my fabulous friend work on those things and then listen to these affirmations. So to recap, before we transition, actually, I'm an indecisive bitch. One more. One more for the road. So I want you, one more for the road, because this is actually a potent tool, is I want you to start to do every day, I'm so happy and grateful that ... And what I do is I actually like chalk it up. So I do like, I'm so happy and grateful that, so I usually do it like by today, this week, this month, like this lifetime. So I'll be like, I'm so happy and grateful that today feels amazing. I'm so happy and grateful this podcast episode is so potent and so many amazing people. It moves mountains for them. I'm so happy and grateful. So you can do that for today. You could do that for your desires. You could say, I'm so happy and grateful I'm in a relationship that feels fucking amazing. I'm so happy and grateful that I have a genius relationship to money. I'm so happy and grateful. Fill in the blank. Does that make sense? Because we want to act as if it's happening now, not like looking out the window and being like, one day I'll have a gorgeous relationship. Like we want to act, like we said, the 30 to 60 second things. We want to act as if, feel as if we have it now. And again, that's a great tool to do with a friend. So instead of you being like, I'm talking to myself, which I have no problem talking to myself, as you can probably imagine, because I'm in a closet talking to myself now. It's a great tool to do with a friend. And act as if, so you could Marco Polo each other, you could voice note each other, you could Voxer each other and be like, let me tell you. And, get dramatic here. Like, I am so happy and grateful that I have an amazing partnership. I'm so happy and grateful. And you want to get juicy. You want to create those details because that's the shit that helps you. First of all, you get like jazzed about it. You feel good about it. It creates good energy around it. But then you're more likely and more inclined to go towards that thing. Sometimes our desires feel so big that we're like, like it's overwhelming. I don't know where to go. But when we talk about it as if we have it now and it feels safe and it feels good, we're more inclined to move towards it. Okay? It's recap time. Let's recap these goals. I invite you to try to do these on the regular because they can be very potent. They can be very powerful. And then we'll transition into affirmations. So, recap. Daily Trinity. The Trinity: brag, gratitude, desire. Do it with a friend. It's fabulous. Set a timer every day to 30 to 60 seconds. I like to actually put on like music and like dance as if, I'm dramatic. So I like to dance as if it's happened. So I'm like, fuck yeah, Lizzo. I got 5 new clients. So I act as if, you may want to put on a song. You may just want to be like, like feel that excitement, feel that joy, feel that radiance in your body as if that thing has happened now. Pleasure. I love to fight for pleasure. So again, listen to the podcast episodes about pleasure. But asking yourself, how can I create more pleasure in this moment? How can I even just, dial it up 1% more, 5% more? Like, how can I have a relationship to pleasure? Because when we're in pleasure, we can hold good things and we want to hold good things. That's the point of this work, or at least this episode. And finally, I'm so happy and grateful that ... Great tool to do every day. When you're talking to yourself, when you're driving, you're like, oh my God, I'm so happy and grateful that this, and you could get dramatic with it. You could share it with a friend. They sound simple and you're like, yeah, I'll do them. They are wildly fucking potent. And I kid you not, doing them on the regular has transformed mountains for me. Like it has moved mountains. It's transformed shit. Thoughts that I thought, oh, this is always going to be a part of me, actually wildly transformed and transmuted. So start using those tools. Start using them. They're not that hard. I wanted to make them easy and digestible so you could start using them. They could compound and they could change so much for you. So use them, and tell me all about it. Like I am here. I want to hear how that changes. Now it's time in the episode, so look at the time marker where we go to affirmations. And this is part of the episode. I mean, you're welcome to binge this episode over and over and over again. But this is the point in the episode that we continue to listen over and over and over again. I'm going to read these affirmations to you, but feel free to, another invitation to make up your own. What feels good to you, what feels nourishing to you. So let's get yourself in a position that feels good. So taking a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, and really letting these affirmations land in your body like they're the truth, because they are, because you're a fucking fabulous badass and I'm obsessed with you. So here we go. I am worthy and deserving of having a life that I love. I am loved. I'm lovable. I'm loving. I am lovable and fucking amazing because ... And you could pause here. Riddle some reasons why you're fucking lovable. First of all, you're lovable because you exist and you're fabulous. But give me some examples. Stop, drop, and roll out some examples of why you are so fucking lovable. I deserve to feel good. The more that I fight for my pleasure and the more that I'm nourished and taken care of, the more I can show the fuck up. I'm proud of myself. I celebrate my growth. I celebrate me. I celebrate the baby moments. I celebrate the medium moments. I celebrate the big moments. I'm worthy of celebration. I can, and I fucking will. I show up as my highest self. I let it be easy. I have a relationship to ease, and I allow flow into my life. I let go of any discomfort, charge, stickiness, crunchiness, and dis-ease in my body. I live a prosperous, abundant, joyous life. I am healthy in body, mind, and spirit. Something is seriously right with me. I am fucking gorgeous in body, mind, spirit. I am radiant, lovable, and fucking fabulous. I am good enough. I have a life, and I've created a life that I love to look at. Pleasure holds so much magic, and I go to that spot with ease. I belong, and all parts of me, good, bad, messy, ugly, yummy, are welcome. I am safe. I find safety and soothing in my own body. I am worthy and deserving of having a healthy relationship to money. I am worthy and deserving of having a gorgeous, flowing, yummy relationship to love. I am love. I see love. I speak love. I embody love. I allow myself to receive good things into my life. It is safe to be successful and to have good things in my life without pain, without blood, without sweat, and without tears. I let go, I shake it off, I detach from my relationship to consistent pain and suffering. It's safe for me to have a relationship to pleasure. I am meant to have an amazing relationship with money. The more money I have and the healthier relationship I have with money, the more I can pour out into good organizations and charities. The more I'm in my power, the more radiance I can give to this planet. The more turned on I am in both sensuality, sexuality, and in life, the more I can give to others. Not only do I survive, but I thrive. I am a motherfucking catch. I am smart. I am hilarious. I am kind. I am giving. I am a winner. I am a winner. There is so much to celebrate about me. Love is easy. It's the natural order of things. I create my own reality, and I'm excited about that. I'm excited about how much power I have. It is safe to be successful. It is safe to be seen. I am capable of making really good decisions. I'm worthy of rest and taking time off. Love is for me. I can't fuck it up. I am a freaking gem, a prize, a winner. I'm radiant and I'm divine. I remember who I am. I remember my worth. I remember my mission. I remember I am so fucking special and loved. I am the source of love in my life, and I choose love time and time and time again. I come back to love with ease, with grace. I deserve an amazing, abundant, fucking gorgeous, incredible life. I deserve that. I am proud of me. I am so fucking proud of me. I can hold the duality that I can celebrate the shit out of myself and be proud of myself and brag on myself and desire more. I am worthy of celebrating myself now. Throw off the sparklers, pop the champagne, yes. And I am worthy and deserving of moving towards what lights me up. I can hold the duality of both celebrating now, being here now, and desiring more, and knowing I'm worthy going towards that more. I am good enough. Point blank. Point blank, I am good enough. I choose me, and I love me. And if it's worth anything, I love you too. I'm so proud of you. I really am. It sounds silly, but not everyone, listens to podcasts that are about self-improvement, This work, even if you're just, especially, in whatever way you relate to me, whether you're my client or you're in my programs or you listen to the podcast, you're willing to do the deep work. And that's something I could tell you without even knowing you, that you're a fucking badass. Because most of the planet is not willing to invest time, energy, money to do some of this work. And so I just want to celebrate the shit out of you. And I'm praising you. I'm loving on you. And you really are an amazing, special soul. It sounds corny, but I can tell it because I know it's true. Because if you found this work and you're willing to stay, and be committed to this work, you're a really special someone. So I'm proud of you. You're worthy and deserving. I really do love the shit out of you. I'm sending you all the good juju and vibes, and you know the deal. If you've listened to the podcast before, I have tons of free resources. A part of my mission is to make this work accessible for everyone. So go to my website, www.wethelight.org. I think I said 3 W's, did I? www.wethelight.org, once more for good measure. And tons of free stuff. We the Light has. What do we have? We have a blog. Obviously, I have the podcast. I have an amazing free ebook. And then I also, every month, open up, and they book up very fast, a certain amount of free sessions. And what we do in that free session is we do a mini session. We talk about, your desires and what we want. And then we talk about if we're a match to work together, if it feels good for both of us. And again, that free session, I only open up a few each month. So be sure to book that free session. It's hella fucking potent. And I'm in your corner. I'm your biggest cheerleader. I'm your biggest fan. I love you. I'm so fucking proud of you. And keep coming back to this. Keep coming back to the truth that you're a badass. All right. I love you so much. I'm giving you the biggest fucking hug. I'm popping the champagne. And I'm celebrating the shit out of you. I love you. You should be so fucking proud of yourself. All right. Bye. Thank you. Seriously, thank you so much for joining me on today's episode and on this podcast journey. And if you loved what we talked about today and you know another human who could definitely benefit from what was discussed, I would so appreciate if you would go ahead and share this podcast with them. Don't forget, hit subscribe or follow so you never ever miss an episode. And the great news is you can always follow me, my work, my blog, my podcast on my website at www.wethelight.org. And hey, remember, life is so much brighter when we shine. I'll see you next time.